Okay, we are. I think we're live. Says we're live. Don't know if we're going to get any viewers because anyone clicking on this will notice that it's Squig Boss Mad Knobs. Hello, mate. It's oh, there's a few of you in here. Blimey. Like the title says, completely unplanned. I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to do a little bit of hobby. Let's just stick the camera on and see what happens. As you can see, I'm in a bit of a mess at the moment, which is kind of going to be the subject of this video. Like I said, it's sort of unplanned, but I kind of have a few ideas of things I want to talk about. So how is everyone doing? I see there's a few of you in here, 6 people on here at the moment. 1 thumbs up already. What's the other 5 doing? Come on, hit that thumbs up button. I need all the likes I can get. There you go. A little bit of begging there. I can never pronounce your name, buddy. Hilmer on some. I'm going to call you Hilmer Frodel. Frodel. That's what I'm going to call you, Frodel. Hello, mate. I see you on a lot of my videos, and you're always commenting and stuff and watching. It is noticed. I do appreciate it, but I can never pronounce your name. It sounds like something from Lord of the Rings. Am I correct in thinking that? Or is it just a foreign name? It looks elvish to me. Vindictus, hello from Germany. Hello. Or shall I say Guten Tag? Squig Boss Mad Knobs has had a message retracted. I saw it there for a minute. It's them damn buttons on the phone that I'm always doing that when I'm trying to type messages, and then you send it and then you realise all your spelling and your grammar's completely fucked and you've got to re-edit it. It's annoying. So, just bear with me while I roll myself a quick cigarette as everyone enters the room. So yes, the subject of this video, from the title, I am going to be continuing to work on my Mek guns. I think the last live video I did actually was focused primarily on me working with my Mek guns, and I'm from Iceland. It's an Icelandic name, not Elvish though. There are a lot of Elvish rumours in Iceland. Yeah, it does. It just something about the name. It screams to me something Lord of the Rings, like one of the sort of lesser characters in Lord of the Rings or something. My Night Lord project is now on DeviantArt. When you also interested on the link. Cool. We'll check that out. Yes, pop a link on, buddy. Let everyone in the room check it out for sure. I'm just looking at my Mek guns now. I will pan the camera down and show you a minute. You might be able to see now. So yeah, I've done a bit of work. Me and Skarner the other day went on web chat, and we were just chatting away to each other as we were doing some hobby. He was continuing work on his Iron Warriors kill team, which are looking really, really good. He's having fun doing those what do they call them? What's it called? The black and yellow stripes on the armor. My mind's gone completely blank. Dave Dog, no plans are good. Well, that's good. I'm all right then. Like I say, I was thinking tonight. I'm going to put together a video, and I've got several videos in the pipeline that I'm planning on making, or in part process of, whether they're just floating around in my head, or whether I've written down some rough ideas on paper, or whether they're part recorded or whatever. I've got some videos, but the arrow checkered patterns, you're saying black and white pattern. No, black and yellow. Chevrons. That's it. Chevrons on the Iron Warrior shoulder pads and the chain swords. Yeah, he was painting up his Iron Warriors the other day, and I think he was working on those bits. I think largely the rest of the models are done, and they're looking really good. And while he was doing that, I was continuing work on my Mek guns. Well, eventually I started doing that. At the beginning, I was just tidying my desk, because one thing I want to talk about on this video is lack of motivation. I've recently hit a bit of a rut. Long-time viewers may have noticed the channel has seen a bit of a downturn recently in the amount of content I've been putting out. There was a period of possibly a couple of weeks where I didn't put a video at all. Dave says, "I'll tell you something, everyone. I bought no fear box and putting together the intercessors. They're shit for mold lines." I find a lot of are they like mono bows, like sort of almost snap fit? Because I find models like that, the mold lines are always worse, and I find them a bit, although they're designed to be simpler, I find them more of a ball ache to sort. Like Ork boys, for example, I've got a lot of the black reach ones, which are great to just throw together a load of boys quickly and cheaply and get them on the table. But in terms of the mold lines and in terms of sort of the building of them, I find them so much more hard work than the multi-part pieces, because I just find the mold lines of them, because they're on small parts, it's quite easy. When it's all one piece, the mold lines all go up into like the groin area and under the arms, and you've got to get in and all them bits, and they're always so much harder. They tend to be made of cheaper plastic as well, I think. They are monopose, and the plastic is accumulated at the lip of the Space Marine shoulder pad. Yeah, they sound like a ball ache, mate. But I'm sure I've seen your work before, buddy. I've seen your painting. I'm sure they will look very impressive once you're done. Because you, I don't think, do lack motivation. I think it's something that all of us go through from time to time. For me, I got earlier on, about a month ago, or longer than a month ago, I got the worst chest infection I have had that I can remember anyway. I've had chest infections in the past, but nothing. It knocked me on my arse. At first, I thought it was just a hideous case of man flu. I had a cold for quite a while, and then while I was at work at the day, I just came down really, really ill, and all I could think, I just want to go home and go to bed. I just want to go to bed. And I did that, and yeah, I felt fucking terrible the next day, and yeah, it just stuck around. It did not shift. I spent one day just asleep all day, and then woke up for a couple of hours in the evening, and then just slept all night. Still felt crap the next day. I was still trying to work. I did have a couple of days off work, but I was trying to work through it. And it just wasn't going. So eventually, after ages of this, I eventually went to the doctors, and they said, "Yeah, you've got a chest infection." Gave me the antibiotics. I finished the course of the antibiotics, and if anything, I felt worse. It just hadn't touched it at all. So then I had to go back to the doctors again and get another course of antibiotics, which I finished about a week ago. And touch wood, I am feeling better now. I've still got a little bit, still not feeling quite 100%. These will help, no doubt, but I'm feeling a lot better. So that killed a lot of my motivation for a while. I just kind of got myself in a bit of a rut. So I was lying in bed. I was watching a lot of wargaming videos and stuff and things on YouTube, and you know. But in terms of hobbying or making videos, I couldn't. I just couldn't. Also, just it got me down, and sort of depression and sort of OCD stuff that I suffer with kind of peaked for a little while, and just I won't go into details on a live YouTube video, but it was just a bit shit time for me. I can't really think of reasons why. There are lots of different reasons, but I was just feeling generally shit and just didn't want a hobby at all. Didn't want to touch it, and didn't really want to do much of anything really. And yeah, just feeling real crap for a while. And yeah, so that's why you've probably seen on the channel over the last couple of months, sort of, there's been videos coming out, and I've been producing content. I've been doing my top 5 videos, and so a little bit of news videos and a few things, but the content has dropped somewhat. But I see a lot of positive comments on here for Spect and Fujimoto. Thank you guys. And I'm sure a lot of you can empathize and understand, because a lot of us, I think, Vindictus says orcs never give up, and that is right. And I knew I'd sort of bounce back from it and come back. So it was just kind of slow down. And where I have been making videos, I kind of, at times I was still, a couple of the last videos I made, I was still feeling really rough. I thought, no, come on, just suck it up, get a video made. At least you've got something on there, and it's keeping the channel ticking along. Because I didn't want to start losing subscribers and losing patrons, and just, you know, everything I've built up. I didn't want that to start declining. And luckily the subscribers numbers have sort of, they were climbing for ages, and then they've just kind of stagnated. They're just kind of staying steady. Every day I sort of drop a couple, then gain a couple, then drop a couple. But yeah, they're just orcs are the motivator. Teresa May has also a bit of politics on it. I'll just see, because I see Stick said Dave Dog. Dave Dog, that was amazing. Yeah, so yeah, so that is my brief explanation of the lack of content of late. Although I say lack of content, there still has been content, just less of it. But admittedly, I think it's going to have to kind of stay like that for a while, because my work is busy. I work on a holiday park, and you know, we're getting into that sort of season now, so work is busy, and I've also had lots of other things to do around the home and stuff. Been sorting a lot of stuff out around the house and the garden and bits, and there's just lots of stuff that does come first before the hobby or the channel, unfortunately. But yeah, and I haven't had a game in ages either. I want a game. I was supposed to have one today, but other stuff came up, so I had to cancel that. But I've got that rescheduled for 2 weeks' time, so I can have my first 40k game in a long time. That's been killing the motivation as well. Sometimes I think you kind of reach these dead points or low motivation points, and I think if you're not playing, that can have an effect on that. But I think sometimes just one good game, if you have a really fun game with someone, it invigorates the hobby for you. It gets you wanting to paint some of them units, especially some of your units that maybe did really well in the game, or you know, in playing that game you've realized a weakness in your army and a unit you want to get to plug that gap in your army, and it just it re-sparks something. And I think that's what I need. I need a good fun game just to get me back into the hobby in a big way. And yeah, and get me to do some more tactics videos as well, because I haven't done any of them in a while, and they're certainly the most popular videos I do. And but I haven't felt like I've been able to do those lately, because I haven't played for so long. I'm almost kind of forgetting some of the rules and things. It's been such a long time. I'm kind of just feel like I'm out of the hobby a bit, and it's been really hard to get a game together. And it's, when you're not playing regularly, it's quite hard to produce a tactics video, and you kind of need that stuff fresh in your mind, and you need to have in-game experience. You need to be talking from reality, not just from like theory hammer and just kind of winging it. Basically, I want to, if I'm talking tactics, I want to be had actual experience of trying these tactics out, and you know, doing various things. So you know, hopefully, like I say, in a couple of weeks, once I get a game in, and hopefully that will re-spark that love for the hobby, the gaming side of it again, and I'll try and keep more regular games in. So more than 5, and there seems to be conversations going on in the chat, and I don't know what they are because I wasn't reading the comments while I was chatting away. But yes, in terms of the amount of videos I produce, for a while back then I was always releasing at least minimum 2 videos a week, and I think I've probably recently just about managed to stick to that schedule. I think what I was doing before was sort of every 2 or 3 days I was getting a video out. During October I was doing a video a day. That virtually killed me. But it's fairly slow in terms of news regarding orcs lately. It's all about chaos at the moment. They've got some amazing stuff coming out, which us green skin players have got to be so envious of. Can you imagine if Orktober had seen the type of releases that Chaos are getting? New Chaos Space Marines, so if we'd had new Ork Boys, although me personally, I was an advocate for keeping the Ork Boys as they were. But an updated kit with extra options and stuff would have been cool. New Chaos Terminators, new Havocs, what else have they got? New Obliterators. They do have some new Demon engines, which look really cool, and new Abaddon the Despoiler. Can you imagine if we had had a new Gazgul in October? Stevo, sorry, but do you like the Age of Sigmar boys? I do. I've got some of them actually. They're not out on the table at the moment. They're packed away in my carry case, but I do have some of the Savage Orks. I have some of those which I used to, I was going to say convert, but they weren't really converted. They just kind of counts as, I use them as weird boys. The ones that are sort of like the war chanters kind of thing, I use them as weird boys. They're a little bit small for weird boys, really, but I kind of get around it. But yeah, I've used them. I've got one of my earliest videos was showing them off. So yeah, I use them. I've also got, which I haven't built yet. Reach down it. The Squig Herd, which kit's really cool. I love these squigs, and these are going to be used predominantly to be attack squigs for war bosses, potentially squig hounds, and of course bomb squigs. So yes, I got a notification. Artie Freeman. Hey, Dreadwar's in here. This is, yeah, Artie Freeman. This is Dreadwar, his alter ego. This is the Clark Kent of Dreadwar, basically. Artie Freeman there. Dread, how are you doing? Steve, do you think Mega Knobs should be usable in squads of one? I know I've said this before. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm hoping with this new Kill Team Elites on the way, I am hoping, I haven't seen mention of it, but having seen that other factions have access to Terminators, I am really hoping that Mega Knobs are usable in Kill Team. So in that scenario, yes, if they were to be included in that game, they will be usable in units of one, obviously, because everything's a unit of one in Kill Team. But that's not really the question you're asking, is it? You're asking, should they be allowed units of one in 40k? No, I personally don't think so. I don't think they'd be very effective as a unit of one. But having said that, I think if they were in units of one, they could probably be open for abuse in terms of filling out elite slots and getting more command points, and also for objective taking and stuff. You could get some proper beardy players abusing that system. Yeah, I definitely. I just wanted to say you are the best boss. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say so. So, what else was I going to talk about? Hobby update. So yes, I've kind of covered channel update. No, there is more stuff to talk about on the channel first before I get to the hobby. So, channel update. I'm glad Dread's in here, actually. Don't worry, Dread, I'm not going to spoil anything. But if you haven't already, subscribe to Dreadwar's channel, Dreadwar Gaming. And I say this for two reasons. One, because his channel is awesome and it covers loads of Orky stuff and it's amazing, and you need to subscribe to that channel. It's brilliant. And also because I feature in his next video that's going to be upcoming. Dread, I don't know, you're in the comments there. I don't know if you could inform us of when that video will be released. If you pop that up on the comments now, I'm sure the watchers will be interested to know. I see how you say only orcs gets mentioned. I've got a lag spike. I've been working on an episode this evening, Stevo. I hope you're enjoying what I did with your report. So yes, Thursday, there you go, guys. So on Thursday, Dreadwars Gaming's latest video will be up, in which I feature, and I'm looking forward to it because the new format Dread has been doing lately is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's effectively created a weekly show for orcs. And what I mean by that is it's a show that's not just, I typically make videos, unlike this live video where I'm chatting about all sorts of stuff. Most of my videos are focused on one topic, whether it be a tactics for a certain unit or a specific video covering a specific topic. Whereas what Dreadwar's done is genius in my mind. He's created a show that's about an hour long, and he does a bit of hobby, a bit of reviews, a bit of news, and he does a Q&A session at the end, the Dear Dread session. It's just a really cool format. It's like a proper little sort of TV show for people that love orcs in 40k. It's cool. It's cool. It's really good. It's entertaining. It's funny. It's informative. It's brilliant. And yeah, you need to, if you haven't discovered the channel already or you don't know about it, you need to get on that. But I expect most of you in here probably are subscribers of his channel as well, and rightly so. But yes, so I'll be featuring on his next episode on Thursday, which I look forward to watching. And also, Two Bald Knobs. We haven't done one of them in ages, myself and Skarno. We keep talking about it. We keep talking about it. We haven't been compatible in times lately. In when I've been able to do it, he hasn't been able to do it. When he's been able to do it, I haven't been able to do it. But we are planning something a little bit special for the next episode of Two Bald Knobs. It's going to be, I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be, I think, our best one yet. I think it's going to be different, a slightly different format from the usual podcast style format. So yeah, it should be interesting. We've got to see if it all works and stuff, but yeah, we're going to get it. Artie Freeman says, lovely little plug. Cheers, homie. No worries, buddy. My pleasure. Any time. 6+, it seems your building, I forget the name, has gotten primed at least. Can we have a look? Yes, certainly. Sorry, I am getting around to the hobby stuff. I'm going to show you everything on my desk in a minute. Because yeah, so let me just have a quick look. I did scribble down some notes. Top 5s are going to continue. I've had a lot of fun putting them together. I've got some really good ones in mind for them. Some of them, those videos are fun to put together. They seem to have gone down really well with the subscribers and viewers. People seem to enjoy those videos, and they always get a good discussion going, because if people disagree with your choices and stuff, they in the comments, it's quite good to have those debates and do that sort of stuff. But yeah, I've got loads more top 5 videos coming up, and I'm going to sort of spread them out, because I don't want to just do nothing but top 5s videos. I want to keep a variety of videos coming out and try and cover all bases. But yeah, they're really fun. And in terms of thinking up ideas for top 5 videos, really easy. In terms of putting some of them together, some of them are quite tricky, because they do take a little bit of research, depending what the topic is I am top 5ing. But yeah, going to be doing a few of those. Someone said in one of the comment section of one of them, you missed a trick. They said you should have done it top 6 Stevo, top 6s, which I was just like, yeah, that's like so obvious. Why the fuck did I not do that? Top 6+ video, please. So yeah, that's what I mean. Top 6 videos would have made a lot more sense, but I don't know whether to change it now. I don't know. I think for the moment I'll stick to top 5s. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll increase it to top 6s. And I've got a little bit more retrospectives coming. I've covered most of the old Ork codexes now in the retrospectives. They don't get huge numbers of views, but I think the people that do watch them really appreciate them and like that nostalgic look back. They're not for everyone, but I think for people that care about the nostalgia and the old school stuff, I plan to do a few more of them and get that. Still love the content and well happy got such a following. 6+ clan, and you are an awesome clan as well. You viewers and subscribers are just the best. You are properly the best, and yeah, even when times are hard and things, you guys do keep me going and keep me doing this for sure. but yes, I've got a little bit more stuff coming up for retrospectives, not covering Ork codexes, covering some other stuff. I have the Ork codex from the first edition, says Vindictus. That is worth a tasty bit of money. Yeah, I am going to get round to those eventually. That may be a little way off into the future, but I do have lots of other stuff to cover. I want to cover things like the Armageddon Codex and the another one of the campaign books, the Eye of Terror Codex, and things to cover the Ork segments of those bits. So I'm going to expand it out a bit to some other stuff, and who knows, maybe some older models and things as well. But yeah, try and keep those. I'm very interested in them kind of things. Lore videos, haven't done them yet. I did in one of my old videos talking about should GW bring back. I kind of had a little bit of a stab at almost making it a little bit of a lore video in a sense. For one of the characters, that was Gruck Face Ripper. It was a bit rough and ready, and I wasn't entirely happy with it, but I do plan on doing some lore videos soon, covering Ork stuff, obviously, yeah, I just haven't got it to a point where I'm happy with it yet, and because they're tricky to do. They're not easy. I watch lore videos all the time. I love them. There's a few channels I watch that do lore videos, some really good ones, which may feature soon on a future top fives video. Heard it here first. But yeah, I want to have a stab at doing that, and do some of them. You also did top 5 characters. Yes, I did. I did do top 5 characters. That was a fun one to do. A lot of research into that one to. I knew kind of which ones I wanted top 5s, but trying to remember the names of some of specifically some of the lesser known characters. But yeah, so that's the channel update anyway. But I think it will be. I'll probably maintain the level of releases I've done, so sort of 1 to 2 videos a week. Sometimes maybe more when the mood takes me or when time allows. But yeah, because I don't want to just kind of churn them out and lose the quality. I say the quality when it's just me sitting here smoking a fag at my messy desk doing a live video, but I think you guys seem to like that. Anyway, hobby. Let's move the camera down a bit. Let's turn it round a bit. Just go freehand on it. Yes, this is the pigsty of a desk I'm working from at the moment. Loads of half-finished projects. Mega Knob's in the corner there, almost finished in terms of building. And my scenery, like someone's just stated, undercoated them at least. Yes, I've got a bit further than that actually. I have undercoated, primed them all black, dry brushed them all metal. I've got a little bit of dry brushing where I've noticed a few spots on some of them that I've missed, so I've got to go over dry brushing. The Dakar bunker is the one I've got the furthest with, where I've just kind of, I'm not entirely happy with it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just kind of just picking out certain panels, get it under the lights, you can see it. I'm picking out certain panels just to get a little bit of variety, so it's not all the same metallic. This is going to be, I'm going to carry on picking out some little bits on this, but not too much. I'm purposely going to try and keep them fairly simple, but I'm going to have just a little bit of variety in the paneling, and then I'm just going to basically wash that down, grimy, dirty, brown wash all over, get it really rusty and grimy looking, and yeah, just maybe do a little bit of dry brushing of silver over to pick out some of the edges and stuff. But yeah, I've done a little bit of work on the bunker as well. The bunker's got just the start of, you can see the bad moon there picked out. Get into the light for you. Just picking out some of the details and that on there. So yeah, that's coming along slowly. But yeah, I've also got, I don't know if I've already shown this, but let's show it anyway, because this is, I got this over Christmas time, sent to me by excuse me, sent to me by Tabletop Scenics for a review, and it's been sitting there waiting for the right time. But yeah, I've got the Ork Troop transmitter, which I am excited to have on the channel. But yeah, that's going to be a tricky build, I think. And yeah, so that, look out for that in the not too distant future, where I will do a review, a build and review of this awesome looking piece of scenery, which is just going to make a great centerpiece to all of this. And then once it is all built, once all that scenery is built and painted, I will put it with my other scenery that I've already got on my board and do a big showcase of my whole terrain setup. But that's something to come in the future. So projects that I'm working on currently, I have one of my subscribers did send to me a piece that I was after, a scoop from a Chimera, because some of you may remember this from way back. It hasn't got any further since I last showed it, but my rocket truck, which when the Codex came out and they took rockets off trucks, I was going to take this turret off, take it off and change it for a big shooter turret to make it a standard truck. But you know what? No fucking way. I don't give a shit if it's still in the Codex. I did say, like Skarner said, that I wouldn't use index stuff going forward. I'll stick to the Codex stuff. But you know what? No, bollocks, because I'm really pleased with that turret. I like the way it looks. It was quite a tricky little build as well. And yeah, I made this for my tank busters. And I'm keeping it. I don't care what the Codex says. I'll just use the index entry to have rockets on it. So yeah, but yes, the scoop, because this is not almost finished. But I just need to just finish it off, and the scoop is going to be one part of that to get that on there, basically, like that. And I think it's going to look quite cool once it's all done. Got to scratch the little Imperial thing off and stick something else over the top of that, and I've just got to do a little bit of more orkification on it, basically, just a little bit more orky bits slapped and stuck on it, just to finish it off, get it sprayed, get it painted. And that is my big, that's my big thing that I need to pull my finger out on, because I'm just terrible with painting. I've just hit a bit of a brick wall with that, really. So what I plan to do is get these mech guns built and done. Once they're done, they can be cleared off the desk and I can actually start painting. What, I don't know, I'm going to be painting something, probably the mech guns actually. I need to clear this space, get the paints out, just get cracking with the painting. Let's read some of these comments here. Such that Ork cannibalized tanks cannot be used in tournament play. Yes, it does suck, you're right there. Don't get me started on the whole looted wagons for open play thing. I've gone over it enough. I do not need to go over it again. I don't need to rant anymore on that subject. Stevo, are you going to make another army showcase? I will when I've got something worth showcasing. I don't think you more unpainted models. Quite frankly, it's embarrassing. I need to get, once I start getting some, I've got my killer cans so close to being finished. I just need to just pull my finger out and finish them. They're like so close to being finished. Get them done, get these mech guns done, start painting the mega knobs and start working towards that dread mob. I want to get this guy painted, my mech boss, my big mech boss, that I converted with it. I loved it. I'm so pleased with this conversion and that gun. That, of course, is the Thunderbus. The Thunderbus, yes. So with his teleport blaster on there. So yes, he is high on my list of models I want to get painted. And that's a single model. And I find them quite fun to paint. It's when I'm batch painting stuff, I find it a bit boring sometimes, to be honest with you. When you're sort of churning through, you just got to keep yourself going, haven't you, to just keep in mind that end result. But when you paint one character, it's quite fun because you're just kind of, you know, you're having fun. You don't really get much time to get bored because you're just being able to be creative and, you know, you're into lots of different colours of paint and doing it. And it's just a bit more fun. Painting an Ork army one model at a time, obviously, is not the best way to do it. But Stick says, I can't paint. I think everyone can paint. It just to what degree can you paint? I think a lot of us are maybe put off by, we see these amazing painted miniatures on other YouTube channels, on Games Workshop's website, and you know, Google image, you look at, you can see Vindictor says everyone can paint. Yeah, you're right, everyone can paint. It's just to what standard you can paint, but they don't have to look, you know, they don't have to look Golden Demon standard. I think a whole army painted really basic looks really impressive from the other side of the table. Stevo, have you got a stomper? I haven't. And the reason being, I'm not overly keen on the model. It's not even to do with the fact that it's a bit shit in terms of competitiveness, which if you want to hear about that, go on Skarner's channel and just ask him about the stomper. He will rant for hours on that. But I'm just not overly keen on the thing. I know loads of people scratch build them and convert them and stuff. For me, my big miniature for my army is my Gorkanaut. I love that thing. I know that one divides opinion, but it's one of my favourite models in the faction. I love the Gorkanaut. I think it's just awesome. Dave Dog, I'll give you 2 tip sticks. Buy some magnifying glasses with a light miniature if you disappeared. God, people are chatting away. Yeah, magnifying glass things. My lamp has helped. I've just got a normal desk lamp here, which is what's lighting me right now on the desk, but that helps hugely. Before I was painting down in the living room, we've got the light in the living room. It's nice when you're chilling out in the living room because it's kind of a nice soft light. For painting, it is utterly shit. You can't see. You think you've done it all right, and the next day you see it in the sunlight, and you're like, oh, I've missed loads of bits. So yeah, you do need some good painting. Howdy, you big baldy sexy bugger, says Underdog Painting. Hello. And Underdog, I think you're bald as well, aren't you? There's a lot of us baldies around. Sticks. Also get loads of white light lamps. Sounds like Dave Dog's got some good advice going on there for anyone interested. So let's, without further ado, show you where I've got to with my Mek Guns. I am big beard, no hair on top. Yeah, same. You start losing it here, you start getting it everywhere else. Back, ears, nose, everywhere but the bloody head. Although I'm not completely bald, as you can see, but it started receding and started thinning, and I did have hair before, and people kept saying, oh, you're getting a bit thin on top, and pointing out and everything. And it came to a point where I was like, do you know what? There's no point fighting nature. If it's starting to go, just get the clippers and do it. And then just get in there first. Get in there before nature could finish the job for me, basically. 6+, what music do you listen to? Hip hop. Mostly old school hip hop. And yeah, 90s era mostly. But all sorts of music, really. I like some metal stuff and rock stuff and pop stuff. And I like some old, you know, soul stuff like Motown and stuff. But yeah, just get a hair squig. But yeah, I love it. Strange thing is that I'm short-sighted, but with glasses or contact lenses, I have 20/20 vision, and I paint better when I am short-sighted with magnifying glasses now and again. Jurassic 5 are a cool old one. There's a blast from the past. Yes, yes. I was about to say who my all-time favourite is, but that's hard to choose. But I'm a big Eazy-E fan. Eazy-E, NWA, Dr. Dre, Snoop. I love all that kind of era of stuff. I love the old, you know, going further back like Public Enemy and stuff as well. And the modern stuff is not much of that I like. This mumble rap stuff that's, yeah, not gonna. I bet Stevo says that Salt and Pepper are his favourite band. I do. Do you know what? When I was way back, early years of high school, we're going about, what would it be, about 92. Yeah, very early 90s. Salt and Pepper were actually my favourite group as a just about a pre-teen. Yeah. Oh, right. Anyway, we're not here to talk about music and hip hop, are we? We're here to talk about hobbies. So let's move some of this shit out of the way. Some of the tools and bits, so I can show you what I'm working on. And everything's falling over there. Never mind. Let's get the camera down. How's that? Everyone see okay? Right, I've got to be careful because some of these bits are very. I've been clipping off bits of sprue to sort of join some tricky bits together. That obviously, when you're doing conversions and stuff, bits that aren't designed to go together can be quite tricky. And I've got some of the Grok crew kind of. I'm testing some things out with them. So got bog standard one. That is just the kit. As focuses off a bit. Is it? It looks all right. My end. Might just be the little bit of the autofocus on it. Unfortunately, not a lot I can do about that. I can get the but anyway, yeah, there you go. That's the bog standard Mek gun as you get from the kit. I'm making all 4 of them as custom Mega Blasters because I love that gun. It's awesome. And yeah, so that's not much to say about that. That's just the standard one. So I wanted to build one standard, but I am a firm believer with Ork vehicles, and I guess these kind of count as vehicles, but any kind of thing. I don't think any 2 things should look the same. Orks do not build stuff off a production line. You know, these aren't built in a factory, you know, with automated robots and stuff building them like, you know, like a car factory, or like in the way the Imperium would build tanks. Obviously they would come off a production line, or, you know, coming off the same. Orks aren't like that. Stuff's built out of scrap, it's cobbled together and it's bodged up, and the mechs that build these things, they get bored. Next time they build something, they build it different, and they use what they've got at hand. And so I'm a huge believer in that no 2 Ork vehicles should look the same. They can look similar, but they can't look the same. So with that in mind, I got 2 of these kits, one with the intention of building it as it's meant to be, and the other one I combined with a truck kit and bits from my bits box to create 3 different types of Mek guns. So I've got that one there. The next one I've got that is probably, now these are all partly finished. There's still work to be done on them, so bear that in mind. This one, using, what parts did I use for this? So I've used wheels from the truck, chassis, or at least part of the chassis, yeah, can't even speak now, part of the chassis from the truck there to the base. I've got the engine powering the gun, and this gun was made from the kill cannon, which I filed down a bit, and then the end is the custom Mega Blaster from the Mek Gun kit. And there was a little bit of modification and stuff needed to be done there. Some of these bits, they look quite simple, but they was actually quite tricky to get together. So yeah, that's how I made that custom Mega Blaster, and I think that looks quite effective as a custom Mega Blaster. The front armor is also from the Mek Gun kit, and that's, I've just got a little bit of a panel there, which I believe is, I think that's from the truck kit, or it may be from the Battle Wagon kit. I can't remember now, but yeah, that's ready to have a little Grok standing on there powering it. So that is one, and I'm quite pleased with this. I quite like the way it looks like it's now powered custom Mega Blaster, and it's powered by a internal combustion engine. I just think there's something very orky and cool about that. So yeah, that's that one, which the basics of it is pretty much done. I just, you know, there's not a whole lot more to do on this one actually, and I am quite pleased with how it kind of looks a little bit more like a traditional cannon, you know, ignoring the fact that it's powered by a petrol engine, of course. But yeah, so there's that one. The next one is currently still in the very early stages, but basically this is the standard kit, but I've just left some bits off. So as you can see on the standard kit, it's got all the armor plating bits on there and stuff, and I've at the moment left that off because I wanted one that looked a little bit more bare bones, and I'm gonna try and, this is the one I'm probably least far with yet, because I haven't decided yet whether I am just going to put the armor plates on, but I'm just conscious that it's going to look too similar. I've already made one little change where I've put a little whirly gubbins on there instead of the standard, instead of this standard custom Mega Blaster sort of powering bit. I've, you know, made something different, so it's sort of, you know, different gubbins there to power it. Like I say, I don't want any of them looking the same. but yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. This one, I've still got quite a bit of work to do on and figure out, but it might just be left as a fairly bare bones sort of thing, and I might just put some sort of little stands and panels back here where the crew are powering it and stuff, and yeah, so figure that one out. So there's that one. And then the one I've been working on recently is this one. I've got a bit of blue tack just at the back here because it's front heavy, so it just falls down. This one has had quite a bit of conversion work done on it. So yet again, this uses the chassis from the truck. The bit I was working on the other night is the back bit, because I needed to sort of get it to have an anchor point. So I used one of these from the truck, cut down, used a bit of sprue which I filed down to sort of get a triangular shape to sort of glue it to the back chassis so it sort of sits down like that. The panel there, I think, was from the Torox kit up there. I think it's one of the standard doors on the back, or it might be from it could even be from a Rhino or a Land Raider or something. I don't know how I came across these parts, but yeah, got that. That's just using as the flooring plate there. As you can see there, just powering the gun, I've used the control panel from the truck. So that's usually where the steering wheel sticks in that little hole there. But what I intend to do is stick on like basically a little button there. And I've got a grot here, which I have cut the hand off and stuck the pointy finger on. And the plan is to get him, you can't see this here very well, but he's going to be basically there pressing the button to shoot the Dakka. And I've just got a little guy on there wearing blue tack with his binoculars looking out. The gun is a zap gun, and I think that's from the Battle Wagon kit. And then the custom mega cannon is left over from the Gorkanaut, obviously, if I was to build a Morkanaut, so I had that left over. So the zap gun, I sort of cut the end bit off, and then this managed to just stick over it and stick on there, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. But yeah, so there you go, 4 very different looking mech guns there, but they all kind of have roughly the same size and everything. And yeah, so they're coming along nicely. And that, let's move the camera up a bit so I can see you, because I can't read any of the comments while I'm chatting table down there. So yeah, they're coming along very nicely, slowly but nicely. Slowly they're taking shape, and I'm quite pleased with the results. And I think these are going to be the next thing I paint as well, because I think they're going to be fairly simple paint. I plan to just spray them black, dry brush metal all over, and then go over painting some of the bits of armor and stuff on them yellow, and picking out some of the details, painting the grot crew, and then sticking them on separately to make it easier for painting. And then yeah, and in terms of the grot crew, because of the way mech guns work now, I've been toying with an idea which I think I've pretty much settled on now. I don't have them at the moment, but I plan to stick these mech guns on bases. And it says with the grot crew, but I don't have enough grot crew. I have, because I've got 2 mech gun kits, I've got 10 grot crew. These guns are supposed to have 5 crew each. But because in the codex now, the grot crew aren't a separate unit, they're just part of it. The mech gun comes with the grot crew, and they are ignored for all purposes. They're just there. I don't see the point in putting these little fellas on separate bases and having them around. So what I plan to do is get a base. Probably the base size I'm thinking of is the ones that you get for the new Ork vehicles, the new Ork buggies, those kind of oval bases, and use them to get the mech guns on and the grot crew around. And because of that, sort of almost make like a little mini diorama out of them. And I think they'll look really cool, and it'll be really handy that it's just all in one piece and the grot crew are just part of it. But I don't think you need to have 5 per gun, like religiously. You don't have to. So yeah, it says Vindicta says I also use only 2 grot per gun. So yeah, I might have one with 5, I might have one with 3, might have one with 2, and just mix it up a bit, and it will help to differentiate the guns. We'll make them all look a little bit different as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that actually. And so I just need to because I haven't got any of the new Ork buggies, so I haven't actually held one of these bases. I need to kind of figure out what size they are and if it will fit. What have I got here? I've got a dreadnought base there, so something like that would be too small. It needs to be bigger, but not too big, because I don't want to screw myself in game terms and not be able to fit them, you know, on the thing. But yeah, don't know if I showed him off on the channel. There's a Death Dread that I built not too long ago. 2 Scorchers on him. He hasn't done too well in game yet. I think I've only used him once. He got destroyed long before he got to scorch anything. But hopefully I'll remedy that in my next game if I use him. And I've got another Death Dread waiting to be built, so I've got a full unit of 3 of those. But yeah, and I've got enough parts here actually. I've got still enough wheels. I've got another 2 wheels knocking about left over from the truck kit, and a really old school truck with more wheels. So I could, if I wanted, later on down the line, build more Mek Guns as well. How do you get a consistent disappeared before I could read it. It was talking about a consistent Ork skin color. Yeah, this is something I want to. This is again probably the thing that's holding me back from painting yet, because I haven't quite nailed it yet in the way that I like. So I need to just knuckle down and paint up like just one Ork boy fully from start to finish, and settle on the scheme I'm going to use. I've figured out my armor colors and my sort of clan colors, you know, by doing my Death Dreads. I'm just going to match all my vehicles like them. So I've figured that bit out. The thing that is holding me back is just the Ork skin, I think. But I've painted up my Grot Bob, who's around somewhere. Don't know where he is. He's hiding somewhere. But yeah, I think I'll probably just continue what I did with him, which was quite simple. I just painted in a base coat of a, I can't remember what the colour's called now. It's Army Painter one, but it's sort of a darkish green. And then he's just highlighted with a lighter green, and then with a bit of a wash over, and then maybe another little highlight, just sort of some of the key areas. Real simple thing, and it will look quite old school. It won't look like the Ork skin colours have changed quite drastically in the way people paint them. They used to be quite almost cartoony looking, and some people hate that look, some people like that look. I quite like that look. But recently people do like a really good realistic skin tone on Orks, and that's definitely the way people seem to be doing it these days. They're a lot more I don't know, the colors are less bold, more naturalistic looking, and they look really good. And I've seen a lot of people I know that a lot of people like doing them with a white undercoat and using inks and stuff and the pre-shading stuff, and it all looks really, really cool. But the reason I haven't done any of that is because I can't stand using white undercoat. I just can't do it. I've always done black undercoat. In the very early days, years ago, we're going back like 15, 20 years now, I did my first models with a white undercoat, and it just didn't work. It just looked shit. This is when I was just first started to paint my very first models. I didn't like it, and I couldn't. And then I primed them once with black, and it just changed everything. And I haven't really looked back from then. And even to the point where, even though I'm going to be painting something yellow, I still use a black undercoat, and I do make things really fucking hard for myself, but I'm just stuck in my ways really. And I saw someone commenting earlier asking if I ever do like painting tutorial videos. No, because I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to do that. I paint to a standard where I think it's quite good. I don't mind showing them off, but I don't think I'm the right person to certainly teach people how to paint. There's underdog painting, for example. People like that are the people you want to go to for painting advice. People like me, I can talk to you about tactics, and I can show you conversions and stuff. I love doing all that stuff. That's the part of the hobby I like the most, actually, is the building. The building part is my favorite part of the hobby. But painting, no, I'm not the right person. So I don't ever foresee a time where I will do tips and walkthroughs and stuff, because there's just channels that would do it so much better than I ever could. And so that in that regard, why would I bother? I don't want to do something that's going to be crap, and you know, yeah. So what are you guys there working on? anyone working on anything, or anyone want to ask me any questions while I'm here, because I think I've pretty much chatted about everything I was going to. I was going to work actually on these guns while chatting to you, but I'm terrible at multitasking, and it would just I'll just get distracted. So painting depends a lot of trying. Yeah, you've just got to keep going at it, really. I missed most of this. Marcus Costello. Marcus, don't worry, buddy. It will be up, so you'll be able to rewatch it again. Painting Ork barricades. Cool. I've got an Ork barricade that I need to paint, actually. Oh, it's locked in the box. It'll be a ball ache to get it out. A custom one I built. Blimey, you're all chatting at once. I'm working on a server update, which reminds me my lunch break is about over. Bye. See you later, Tyler. Back to work. Oh, I'm guessing you're not in England then, unless you're doing night shifts. Because as you can see, it is late here. Well, I think we will cut it short there, guys, and it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Someone says, so I dipped into GK for Kill Team and I'm working on my Weird Boy. Cool. I'm working on painting grots. I think that's what I need to start doing. I've got a lot of grots to paint. I had a lot of fun painting Bob, and I think I need to do that. Get my grots painted, because they're mostly just skin, so that'll give me a good place to practice getting the skin right, and they'll be quite easy, quite fun to do. And since I've got my cans almost done and I'm going to do my Mek Guns, it looks like I'm heading towards getting a painted grot army, which will be quite fun in itself, and that'll be something quite cool to feature on the channel, actually. So yeah, I need to but yeah, I'm going to get these Mek Guns finished, and then my promise to myself and to you guys is I am going to start painting. I've got to do it. And yeah, so working on my Smurf trots at the moment. I'm guessing you're talking about Ultramarines. My Helldrake took me about 80 hours to paint. Sheesh. Ouch. 80 hours. Fuck me. I bet it looks impressive, though. That's a cool model, the Helldrake. Anyway, guys, I am going to love you and leave you. It's been a pleasure chatting with you all again. Stay tuned. More videos in the pipeline soon. Don't forget to tune in to Dreadwire Gaming on Thursday to check out his channel and see me feature in there. And look out for Two Bald Knobs, because we've got a special episode coming soon. All right, guys, take it easy. This is 6+ Stevo.